My name is Brenda Imai. Yeah, my childhood, as far as I can remember, was a happy childhood, very loving, supporting parents.
As a child, Brenda was very interesting and bubbly. I guess she got her creativity watching me do my makeup as I prepared to go to work, matching my jewelry. I remember one time I walked in on her in my bedroom. She was at my dressing table. I asked her what she was doing. She had a pen in her hand and she was just getting ready to pierce her ear.
As a very determined child. And they always supported me with my crazy, crazy ideas.
So well, we gave up and took her to a salon, had her ear pierced. I thought that was the end of it, but she kept on and on. I noticed her fashion sense. She'd always comment on my dressing, and she was only about 5 then. She always picked out my clothes, and I realized she'd be something in future. I did not give up on her, on encouraging her with her creativity. I saw she was taking a certain direction. Although I feared, I thought it was nothing much in the fashion world.
The early part of schooling was very interesting. I was exposed to two types of worlds. The first was I went to a government school, Our Lady of Good Counsel, and these are people from all walks of life, some privileged, some less privileged, so you're exposed to too many characters. And I think that's where I felt most at home. And then the second part was A-level. I went to Green Hill Academy. Very good school, they focus on the child, very centered. So I finished A-level, getting to that point of applying to universities. I refused to apply anywhere else. I'm like, University of Dar es Salaam is the best law school in East Africa. I am going to University of Dar es Salaam.
From the time she was about 6, she wanted to be a lawyer. I didn't even know that she made sense out of that. But anyhow, over the years, that kept on. She kept going on and insisting she wanted to be a lawyer. She eventually did make it and went to Dar es Salaam. But after a year there, she told me she wasn't quite comfortable. There was a lot of bullying taking place there.
Because of the bullying, I was severely depressed, like very, very depressed. My family took me in for therapy. And during one of these therapy sessions, I remember the therapist saying, you have to get coping mechanisms to help you deal with stress and depression. And then he suggested art. And I didn't really know that I could draw. But I was like, okay, this is interesting, let me pursue this. So I got a book, I sketched, and I was like, oh wow, this is really good. So while I was in Uganda, attending therapy, restructuring my life, figuring out what I wanted to do next, I applied to United States International University in Nairobi.
And she had done her research on where she wanted to go. So she picked on United States International University, Kenya. That's how we took her.
Got in. To my disappointment, they didn't offer the full law course. They only did criminal justice. So I opted to do international relations.
I'm actually glad I got to meet Brenda at the university again. Having met her at high school, and she was a totally different person. At the uni, she was a much more interesting person. Actually, she was so into the arts and she was more creative. I remember a particular time back in uni, we went, was it the second semester? We came back from holiday and Brenda had this crazy business idea. She was like, we're not going to be broke again. I was like, what are we going to do? And Brenda, with her creative ideas, goes like, so I learned how to do this nail art thing, and I think if we put our energies to it, we could scoop all the clients. Yeah, so that's how we started. Actually, we didn't have like much time to think about it because she was so confident.
She one time rang me and told me how she'd started the thing on nail, and I asked if she had time. She was doing her friend's nail and the business picked up. She was so excited about it. I still did not discourage her. We kept in touch over that. She excelled alongside that. And that gave me every reason not to discourage her from doing what she wanted. Anyhow, she needed to make a little bit of money on top of what we're giving her for her pocket money.
Hi, my name is Benon Mugumbia from Swangs Avenue, and I would like to welcome you to the home of creatives, and that's MoTIV. This has been our home for the past 6 weeks. It's where we've been shooting the Momo Nyabo Together show for MTN. So to all you creatives out there, come check out MoTIV. They have co-working space, there's textile, there's wood workshops and metal workshops, and a lot more. So come through, let's create, let's take over Africa, let's take over the world. Peace out.
Yeah, we started doing nails and oh my God, we got overwhelmed. We got so many people coming to our room. I actually have this picture on Instagram I saw that had the whole nail art in 401. 401 was the name of our room. Though we were almost leaving uni and we didn't really take it to the next level.
Coming back to Kampala after graduating from university was tough for me because I was still in the space of, do I want to be formally employed? Do I want to employ myself? So I started off working for a PR firm and doing jewelry on the side. Like that was my first dive into having my own business. And I wasn't making enough sales and I felt so low. I was like, is this how it's going to be? So I remember quitting and I was like, well, work is getting busy anyway. Why do I need to keep pursuing this that's just putting me in losses? So I quit that, focused on my job. And then eventually I changed careers. So I worked for a mental health institute, just helping people and guiding them towards getting proper treatment through the proper channels. And during this time, I got an opportunity in Geneva for further studies. So I resigned. So I was set to travel in mid-April. And then COVID happens and the airports are locked down. And I was like, should I go back and ask for my job or do I need to think creatively? So I was like, how do I turn this into a good situation? So I started to think, what have I done that I've been so passionate about in my life and something I really enjoyed, and how do I make money out of this? So I started thinking of starting the jewelry again, but with a different concept. So I was like, new concept. Let me make jewelry that's going to pay homage to our African history.
First of all, I knew Brenda from back at university, and as time went on, as we grew up and got into the making world, the creative world, I had seen what she was making, unique products, and how she was working with copper and brass to, come up with these nice, unique things.
Okay, so I thought about naming my brand Malkia, which means queen in Swahili. So, and then all my pieces are named after ancient kings and queens of Africa.
Yeah, we admired to a great extent the homage that brand and the jewelry pays to the African kings and queens and the royalty. We felt that was a really strong driver for the brands and taking it to the next level and just filling that void of things made, by Ugandans or by Africans. The most unique thing, like I've said, was the material, first of all. I hadn't really seen someone locally that was working with copper, and it was handmade pieces. Someone that was working with brass. We don't really have that much brass locally available. It was the recycling element, the sustainability that we were seeing as a team in the product, and were moved by the amount of collaborations that go into making the product, the community, the number of hands that go into creating a unique product like this. And that really drove us, and we felt it gave the brand so much strength.
Came up with a very good piece that I wear to now, up to now. I wear to my workplace, and there's admiration. People love it. And she carried on. We did make a number. I did work alongside her as well, encouraging her. And we've sold quite a number of good pieces. My friends I still market for her some of her items.
I actually purchased some items from her business, and I feel like it's going to go a long way because Brenda has the determination, she has the love for whatever she sets her mind to, and I know it's going to become a big brand. I honestly can't wait for it to become a big brand, and I'm like, oh, I remember her from back then.
I think the opportunity for Malkia is really huge. The opportunity to collaborate with other local makers, bring other materials on board, the ability to train and skill other young people on how to, think design and think sustainable, think how to explore with other materials. So the opportunity is big. Market is competitive, but statement pieces like this, I think the opportunity is really big. So at MoTIV, we are sourcing makers and other brands across all regions: northern Uganda, western Uganda, eastern and southern Uganda. And we're trying to see what unique items people are producing and how we can fuse them with jewelry or byproducts of the raw materials, the brass, the copper, and see what unique pieces we can create for the local market and the global market.
I am Brenda Imai, CEO of Malkia Jewelry, and this is the Maker's Space.
Stella Kopsinje, this is the Maker's Space.
Hi, I'm Silas Biakutaga, Product Development Lead here at MoTIV, and this is Maker's Space.